let's go and wrap up this trilogy. People don't understand just how strong Cyclops is from X-Men, so let's go and talk about him. Now, Cyclops' mutant power is both of his eyes are a portal to another dimension full of nothing but concussive energy. Also, Cyclops' mutation did not turn his powers on 24/7. He's just like that because when he was younger, he suffered a massive head concussion, which unfortunately turned his powers on and never really gave him a way of turning off, kind of. However, this doesn't mean Cyclops can just keep a blast going infinitely. The only real way to actually turn off Cyclops' powers is simply enough just him shutting his eyelids, or Cyclops' ruby quartz crystal visor, which also temporarily disables his power, but only when it's on. And also, due to this, Cyclops is also technically colorblind. Cyclops can really only keep the beam active for about 15 minutes before he actually starts to get tired and pass out from this. Hell, let's talk about the extremely powerful optic blasts themselves. Cyclops' beams, like what I said earlier, are just pure concussive energy, which means they create no heat whatsoever. However, some people are also kind of confused because sometimes when they are shown to catch certain things on fire, and there's a simple reason for this. And the answer is just because of the friction of whatever surface the thing is hitting on. Cyclops' visor can also help him control the size and how narrow the beam could be. Cyclops' beams could be something as narrow as a pencil to being about 4 feet in width with having a range about 2,000 feet. However, the upper limit to Cyclops' optic beams are still unknown to this day. U걉 has described Cyclops' optic beams to basically be a nuke strapped to his head 24/7. Cyclops has even once stated to the Juggernaut that he could hit him with enough force to split a planet in half. Cyclops at full power has even blasted the skin off of World War Hulk. Granted, the Hulk did heal from this and actually stop Cyclops. It's still impressive nonetheless. Cyclops has also overloaded the energy-absorbing mutant known as Bishop, and when Iron Man was measuring up Cyclops' powers while he was blasting Bishop with him, he said that his powers were more than over 2 gigawatts. And if you don't know, that's basically more power than a nuclear reactor. And also in the Age of Apocalypse storyline, Cyclops' blasts are also powerful enough to cut through adamantium. My theory with this is since Cyclops in this universe has one eye, maybe all the powers being more focused through that one eye a lot better than two, so maybe. Something else I wanted to mention is several comic book writers have actually come out and stated that if Cyclops and Superman were to actually have a beam clash, Cyclops would win. Cyclops was also completely immune to his brother Havok's attack, but he's only slightly immune to his other brother Vulcan's attacks. Cyclops is also one of the best strategists and leaders out there in the Marvel Universe, up there with the likes of Captain America. And Cyclops is also trained in hand-to-hand skills from Wolverine himself. And also, I shit you not, Cyclops has a level of telepathic resistance because of the amount of psychic women he has banged over the years. And I mean, there is a lot. This man has his preferences. But what probably has to be the most powerful version of Cyclops out there is when he became a member of the Phoenix Five. If you don't know what the Phoenix Five is, it's basically when the Phoenix Force was divided into 5 different mutants, and he was one of them as well. But eventually, he became full-blown possessed by the whole thing at one point. And he even unalived Charles Xavier. But one more thing I want to note, and this doesn't really have to do with Cyclops' power, but mostly his gene. And what I mean by that is when his genes, and well, genes, when they have a kid is what I mean, they create the mutant Nathan Grey or X-Man. Nathan Grey is without a doubt top 10 most powerful mutants of all time. He's up there with one of the most powerful Omega levels. It's also been stated by Mr. Sinister that Scott's genes are necessary in order to create Nathan Grey, well obviously, but they're one of the reasons why he's as powerful as he is. But yeah, that was pretty much all what you needed to know about Cyclops. One of the most powerful mutants out there, one of the most powerful alpha level mutants out there, keep that in mind. And someone who I'm glad, thanks to X-Men 97, is getting a lot more love in recent years that he desperately needs. But anyway, Vulcan, or Gabriel Summers, is the second brother to Scott Summers and without a doubt the most powerful of the 3 Summers brothers, because Vulcan is an Omega level mutant, and his Omega level mutant powers are that he can absorb and control any and all forms of energy. Also, when Vulcan absorbs energy, he can use it to fly, become extremely durable, and also gain superhuman strength and speed out of it. He can also use it to gain a healing factor in case if he takes enough damage. And it also gives him a good level of resistance to telepathic attacks. Vulcan can even manipulate the energies in your brain to see whatever he wants you to see. So to some extent, Vulcan can technically create illusions. Vulcan could even just shut off your brain if he just wanted to. Vulcan can achieve interstellar flight, so he is definitely much faster than the speed of light. Vulcan can also easily redirect and control Cyclops' optic beams if he wants to. He can also possibly do this to his other brother Havok as well. Also, another thing to note with these 3 is Alex and Scott are both immune to each other's attacks. Meanwhile, they are only slightly immune to Vulcan. And Vulcan Vulcan is also completely immune to theirs as well. Vulcan even possesses the ability to absorb other people's powers. Now, there's actually not really much around this, but he was able to do that to Marvel Girl. One of the most impressive things I think Vulcan has done in recent years is Vulcan has fought the King of the Inhumans, Black Bolt, and he has survived a point-blank scream from the man. I actually had to cut this image in half because this scream actually tears off all of Vulcan's skin, but he does that and Vulcan survives it and regenerates because of his regenerative factor from his energy absorption ability. And after that fight, after Black Bolt blasted almost all of Vulcan's skin off, leaving him in a critical condition, this thing known as a T-bomb exploded right in front of both their faces. And this thing had a blast radius of 23 light years long. Actually ripped a hole in reality, which I guess this is how these two were able to survive it, but it's still impressive nonetheless. Vulcan has also beaten other people like Adam Warlock. Vulcan's also defeated the entirety of the X-Men, except for Storm. Vulcan has also taken on the entirety of the Shi'ar Imperial Guard, which is basically one of Marvel's versions of the Justice League. And he almost won, but he was defeated by Gladiator. And if you guys don't know, Gladiator is one of Marvel's very many copy Superman. And that's pretty much most of the best Vulcan feats he has right now. The guy is stupidly powerful without a doubt in my mind, definitely deserving of the title of an Omega level mutant. The only real weakness Vulcan has is his arrogance and his anger issues. Besides that, if you were to get those under control, he would be absolutely unstoppable. But yeah, that was Vulcan, definitely one of the strongest mutants out there, and someone who I want to see grow in the future because I really do like this character. But lastly, there is Havok, or Alex Summers, is the third brother to the Summers trilogy, and his powers are ambient energy conversion. This means Havok can absorb cosmic energy into his cells, which he can later turn it into plasma. Now, Havok doesn't necessarily need to absorb cosmic energy, he can absorb other energies as well, such as starlight, X-rays, or even gamma rays as well. Havok is also completely immune to any and all forms of radiation and heat. Havok also possesses a level of energy self-sustaining to where he can actually survive in the vacuum of space just by absorbing a little bit of cosmic energy from a star. Once he absorbs his energy into his system, he can later release them as these plasma blasts kind of things, and these are actually really strong. They are in fact so strong that Havok actually has a very hard time controlling this stuff. This is also the reason why in the movies he had to wear that disc thing on his chest to help him focus his powers and better control them. Havok is also so strong to where a mutant known as Sauron has said that his powers are greater than that of his brother Scott's, which, keep this in mind, Scott has also said that he could potentially hit Juggernaut with enough force to split a planet in half. Havok is also completely immune to his brother Cyclops' optic blast, but he's only slightly immune to his brother Vulcan's. Some of Havok's feats are he has melted an entire door made of adamantium by himself, he's also hurt the Hulk, and he's also hurt a celestial empowered Kang the Conqueror, and he's also hurt Apocalypse. Havok's powers are also strong enough to where he could toss around the Juggernaut if he wanted to. Havok has also been able to narrow down his beams to where he can enter the mind of the Hulk and knock him out. Havok is also blast around Gladiator, which is a character that his brother, an Omega level mutant, has a lot of trouble doing. Speaking of which, Havok has also beaten his brother Gabriel, which kind of makes no sense, but it has happened. Havok was actually really only able to do this because he actually took a dip into a sun and actually started absorbing its energy, and that's how he became this powerful. Havok has also been able to hold back a black hole for half a day as well. Havok is stupidly powerful. In fact, he's actually a little too powerful. Like I said earlier in the video, Havok's only weakness is he really can't control his power because, again, it's just too much. But yeah, that was Havok, probably one of the most overpowered alpha level mutants out there, and someone who definitely deserves more recognition for how powerful this character is. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Havok. Feel free to comment down below who you want me to talk about next, and also feel free to give this video a like, and also feel free to give your boy a follow. But yeah, I hope you have a good day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.